Hi, this is Mike Cusick. I'm up here representing the Florida Society of Ambulatory Surgical Centers, and it was a very busy week here in Tallahassee. It's week 4 of the legislative session. We have 5 more weeks to go. It's probably one of the busiest weeks we've seen so far, and it could be one of the busiest we're going to see. We had a number of bills that I want to cover today, but I first want to thank a number of people that have been up here this week helping out. I specifically want to thank the BioSpine Institute and their team of lobbyists. They've been working hard against House Bill 17, which we'll talk about in a moment. And I want to thank Mike Madewell and Robert Hain, both on the board of the Florida Society, that were up here working hard and testifying against the workers' comp bill changes that I will also go over. Saul Epstein, the board chair of the Florida Society, has also been working behind the scenes along with the Florida Society staff as they prepare data and collect material on all of these issues. So it's been a very, very busy time, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. House Bill 17 is a bill that, by Representative Leak, that puts a limit on the LOP business that you're in. It caps the amount that you can collect after the LOP process goes through the letter of protection process. That bill's been going through a lot of scrutiny over the last several weeks. The BioSpine people had a bunch of their people up here testifying against that bill. It has been modified substantially. It's still problematic. Fortunately, the Senate bill hasn't moved at all, and so we're hopeful that that will continue. We'll continue to work on that bill as the process goes on. House Bill 1399 by Representative Byrd caps workers' comp payments to healthcare providers at 160% of Medicare. No implants, no other things are covered. They do provide for procedures that aren't covered under Medicare payments. So if you have a procedure that's not covered under Medicare, they do empower the 3-member panel of the Office of Insurance Regulation to come up with a payment process. But as we all know, that process is very difficult and time-consuming, and the likelihood of them covering some of the things that you know need to be covered is pretty slim. For example, we expect that they would not cover implants. Medicare, as you know, does not cover implants, and implants can be a huge cost in the total cost of a procedure. If they do not cover that, then many of the things that you do will not be workable within your ambulatory surgical center, at least covering your costs. So we'll continue to work on that. Mike Madewell and Robert Hain were up here speaking against that bill.
We all want more transparency, we all want more predictability in cost, and we all want to get health care done at a more reasonable rate. If you take the work comp and you relate it to the Medicare fee schedule, and most of those patients in work comp are orthopedics, it's going to prohibit me from seeing those work comp patients.
So I think we need to look at what we're doing, restricting access to work comp patients to surgery centers, which are a low-cost, high-quality alternative, I think is something that needs to be addressed.
Senator Perry has a bill on workers' compensation, but it only caps attorney fees. It doesn't deal with the health care provisions at all. We met with him today and are very hopeful that they're going to leave that out of their bill. If they do put it in the bill, however, we believe we can work with them to try and minimize the impact. To give you a sense of the impact, right now, if the House bill were to become law, it would cut 50% of the total payments for ambulatory surgical centers and hospitals out of the workers' comp system. So think about that. It's a pretty substantial impact. It would really impair your ability to serve your patients. There are a number of other bills moving through the process. We, of course, are paying close attention to those. The 24-hour care bill in ASCs continues to move. In fact, the House is poised to put that bill on the floor of the House within the next week. The House passed a bill that repeals certificate of need for hospitals this week. We expect to see some movement on the 24-hour care bill in the Senate, but it hasn't moved since its first movement out of the Health Policy Committee a few weeks ago. So we're encouraged that there's still some activity and discussion on those things, but they haven't moved at quite the speed that we would like. We will continue to work on that, and we continue to ask you for your help. We need you to not only contact your legislators on these issues, we need you to get involved by coming to Tallahassee to testify. Those authentic voices in committee make a huge difference, and we need you to join SurgiPAC. Thank you again.